Oh, well, that's a picture of me. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Call to Arms, Gates of Hell. This is probably one of the most massive missions I've ever seen in this game. And, of course, we're tasked with the daunting task of securing Iwo Jima. Over 100,000 Marines will come ashore here in February to March of 1945, even more than that. And even though this is a small mission in terms of its size, it's a massive task with the amount of resistance that the Japanese will put up, and an incredible amount of detail in this map. I've had to go in and update my graphic cards, tweak settings, modify SLI settings, and lower the graphics for the amount of objects that are on the field here in terms of debris, sandbags, bunkers, shell holes, troops, and just all sorts of different areas of smoke, flame, and fire. It's really incredible. Another one from Sturmfuhrer PK. You can check it out, of course, on the Steam store page. And I've got to say, Call to Arms is really the definitive next step for games like Men of War Assault Squad and also Men of War 2. I think Call to Arms truly, with this level of detail, is incredible, and I want the developers to continue to support this, and I'm impressed, again, by the modding community for the amount of detail and the amount of different missions that we see time and time again. It's not my first time at Iwo Jima, but it's nice to see it being done yet again by more and more talented mod makers. Previously by Sir Henkel, and I think Wigga as well, making maps of Iwo Jima with different types of attacks, different areas of the beach to secure, as well as the airfield, which the Americans were tasked with to, I believe, secure it for B-29s, I think, or at least aircraft to support B-29s on their way to Japan. With about 20,000 Japanese defending and about 100,000 Americans attacking, the Japanese are dug in incredibly. And if you've never seen movies like, for example, Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, two great films that kind of go together from both perspectives of that battle, it's an incredible movie, and incredible movies, and just a legendary battle overall. And of course, Mount Suribachi being the main objective, I think the first objective that we need to take before even going towards the airfield, as it is the high ground, and it's where a lot of Japanese have dug in. Flamethrowers will be useful here, and vehicles will be useless for quite some time until we've got the beach secure. I'm letting this intro play out because, I mean, look at that. The debris flying around. Damn it. Call to Arms is just an incredible addition to, well, I should say, of course, Gates of Hell is like a DLC for Call to Arms. So, of course, you got to get Call to Arms, then you got to get Gates of Hell, and then you can get all these mods. But really, Call to Arms with its modern warfare, and Gates of Hell with mostly its Eastern Front focus, but of course all these mods have brought in, obviously, the Pacific Theater and also the Western Front for the battle in Europe. And yeah, it's great. So it's impressive to see these models and all these mods, the uniforms for the Marines and all the American vehicles, like the, I think those are called Bison or Buffalo, that are coming ashore. Yeah, there's a lot of great equipment that's been brought in too for the Marines that differs from what we usually see on the Western Front. Previously, Men of War Assault Squad mostly focused on the European theater, and though I believe there was the Marines in as a special unit so you could fight against the Japanese a little bit more realistically, obviously it's never been officially covered by the games, and so modders have added a ton to it and taken things from other DLCs or other missions and brought it here with just cavalcade of equipment that some of which I've never seen before, like, for example, that American rocket truck on the screen. I don't even know what the hell that is. Games continue to teach me things that, I mean, you could read 1,000,000 books, you could watch 100,000 hours of Netflix documentaries, and then learn something new about a rifle that was commonly used that you've never even heard of, that, like, you know, 1,000,000 troops used, you know, something like that. So, hats off to games, hats off to Call to Arms, Gates of Hell. Hats off to mod makers for continuously providing content for us creators, and also for those you who want to keep buying these games. I mean, it's amazing. A game like this goes on sale, you download a bunch of mods, just like how it is with City Skylines. You know, you pay the base price, but there's so many mods for it that it's almost free. You know what I mean? Pennies on the dollar for each mod that you get access to. And a gorgeous looking beachhead. Now, pretty soon, additional Marines will be approaching. We've got Marines all over the beach and tons of equipment. We have options now to bring in the Amphibious Corps. We have additional Marines to call in, amphibious battalions. I believe even, yeah, naval artillery support, and probably more things that might unlock as we capture more and more objectives. So the main objective right now is to secure the beachhead. And man, yeah, the PC's going to be chugging. This, again, this is like such a small map, most of which is just water, but the amount of like territory that we're going to have to capture, I mean, we're going to be paying for each inch as if it were 10 miles. I mean, it's almost like World War I all over again. Japanese aircraft destroyed over here. Massive bunker complex. And, yeah, aircraft just littering the sides of the airfield. What a hell of a battle already. That's insane. We probably will eventually be tasked with capturing Mount Suribachi. I could see the map opening up after our initial attack on the beach, so let's go ahead and start pushing. Now, we don't have command over all these Marines, but we are going to need to bring in some more amphibious corps and see if we can get them up onto the beach here. Hopefully. Oh, there we go. We'll call in an LVT-4. See if we can mark where that is. We'll try to secure this far right side of the beach here. And see if we can get more units up here. Maybe infantry support would be great. Like, for example, mortars would be fantastic. We've got the Nevada, the Tennessee, and the Arkansas out there. And it looks like there's a fairly open area here for all of the trenches to be entered, but the biggest problem is the guns overlooking those areas. So the Japanese have, yeah, look at that. They've got like a little, oh, that's cool. They've got 2 machine guns inside that. Oh, never mind. I'll take that back. Oh, they're still shooting. All right, well, that's going to be a good position to attack. Let's go ahead and fire the naval guns at some of these hardened positions. We've got to save lives here as best we can. Here come those naval guns. Nice. Wow, what a spread. Now, obviously, the Americans have been bombarding this area and just shelling the hell out of it for weeks. And the battle, of course, takes place over the course of a month. I think about late February to late March of 1945. If I remember correctly. Oh, damn. Yeah, let's just bombard the hell out of these trenches as our reinforcements are arriving. Right now, we've just got some light vehicles that are going to be no good if they come off the beach. And it looks like more AI reinforcements are approaching, so they're just going to run into the battle. Troops in green are not under our control. They're just kind of rushing into the battle there, but the Marines are slightly off the beach. All that volcanic soil. Oof. Really hard to dig into, really hard to take cover in, especially on the beach there. All right. Let's see if we can call in on our amphibious corps. I guess not at the moment. Now, there's a lot of conversation between the characters here of all the different objectives and tasks that they're being given. Well, it looks like we got some troops on the beach finally. All right, let's get into the war. Get our boys down and see if we can start pushing closer to those trench lines. Looks like we have a couple of artillery guns here, too, with free fire mode on. We're going to keep those on the beach for now. And once we've cleared a few more of these trenches, we'll start bringing those artillery guns up a little bit more. So the airfield is obviously here. Well, I mean, what remains of it. And we're going to really have to avoid those machine guns. Oh, boy. Oh, all of our troops are on move at will. So, yeah, they just ran right into a damn artillery fire. Holy hell. So anything in yellow is a soldier under our command. I think that's deceased. Actually, these might just be on our friendly side. Oh boy, we got Marines clumping up everywhere. We certainly want our troops to be on, hold movement and fire at will. We don't want them running out into an enemy machine gun, but we do want them taking any opportunity to fire at enemy troops as soon as possible. All right. Well, the right side's going to be really nice to push up into. We've already cleared a few positions here. The Marines did a good job. Japanese inside this bunker here. Man, you know, if you remember the game, well, first of all, there was not Rising Storm, but there was Red Orchestra, and then, of course, they made the sequel of Red Orchestra 2, and then they made an enhancement or an addition to that called Rising Storm, which then gave way to Rising Storm 2, I believe, which took place in Vietnam. But really enjoyed Rising Storm, and defending as the Japanese on Iwo Jima and attacking as the Americans too. What a fantastic FPS that was, and I hope we get some more just like that in the future. Especially something along the lines of Hell Let Loose, or Postscriptum, but taking place, of course, in the Pacific. Wow. Perfect mortar strike there from the Japanese, taking out those Marines. The trenches, we got to get into those and keep pushing. And we'll bring up our guns now and see if we can get a few more troops off the beach. We do have a nice hold here at this area. And I do see quite a large amount of resistance here. I'm going to hit those guns again. Going to be danger close. Yeah, it's a little too close for comfort, but let's blanket the area here since there's a lot of resistance. And if we can clear this, then we can just push right into the airfield. We'll just have to kind of push towards the northwest. Here comes the artillery again. Damn. Artillery in this game is just unmatched at how good it looks. Let's see if we can get some vehicles up here now. We've had time to soften them up, but now we got to make the hard push. Now, I believe the Americans have taken over 20,000 casualties in this battle alone. Of the 110,000 plus that have landed, almost, I think, around 30,000 or more will die. Alright, well, I'm seeing more and more white triangles on the screen, which is great because that means a enemy emplacement, such as a machine gun, that has been wiped out, and our objective is complete. We have secured the beach through that artillery. Take out the flying trash can. That artillery piece, or that strange rocket mortar thing that they have access to? So now we're looking, I believe, at Mount Suribachi, where there's some really iconic scenes from Letters from Iwo Jima taking place inside of those positions. And I think there's quite a lot of, I mean, not only just, I think there's naval guns inside there, but of course tons of machine guns as well, so there's lots to do. Now this mission just keeps getting bigger, doesn't it? That's what makes this so difficult, is because with all the naval guns that the Japanese have, they're incredibly dug in against naval ships, so it's going to have to be a job for the Marines. Looks like we're focusing a little bit more on the right flank now instead of Mount Suribachi. But of course that's still a threat, and I can actually see fire coming from the mountain. Every once in a while I can see shells flying from over here, I'm fairly certain. Capture the quarry now. The whole damn island's a quarry. It's nothing but rock and stone, like we're playing Deep Rock Galactic. Oh, interesting. Yeah, more guns on the right side. Interesting. I thought we'd be facing first more naval fire from the Mount Suribachi, but again, we've got to hit it with our artillery. We need to hit these positions. Unlikely that we'll knock out these guns, but all of the troops around those guns, if we can push some of those trenches and secure the positions, we'll have a foothold. Damn, there we go. No, they're actually hitting, so that's good. Great concentration of troops there. Man, it looks like World War I. That's incredible. Alright, well, we've got a good hold on that beach now, so let's go ahead and start pushing up that direction towards those trenches. LTVs are unstuck. Alright, good. Now we're getting more vehicles for pushing in to the airfield. Yeah, Japanese snipers. There's quite some open territory around there, including the area up to them. There's no cover here at all except for these trenches. So it's both a blessing and a curse for vehicles. Man, are we getting all the objectives now? Insane. I honestly think the only limit to these missions being more and more realistic, obviously this is a simulation. We can't have 110,000 troops on the screen at any given time, and I don't think the Americans, you know, would put that many troops on the beach on that, you know, one day. But what's really interesting here is the fact that I think we're getting closer and closer to being able to do those things. We're wanting more and more, you know, graphics and realism, and I think we're here with this game right now. I mean, this is, if it looks slightly better than this, that's fine, but if we can start getting more and more troops in larger battles, that would be impressive. I noticed we have some mortars here. I'm going to start taking advantage of those and start bringing those to the right flank and see if we can start hitting enemy trenches. Wow. Yep, that looked like an artillery gun from Mount Suribachi. All right. And obviously, the memorial in Washington, D.C. for the Battle of Iwo Jima with the Marines. The very iconic raising of the U.S. flag on the top of the mountain. Oof, I hope those mortars can make it over there. Alright, we're going to have to crawl our way over there. Snipers at the airfield. I think it would be good to hit these trenches again. We've got tons of snipers here. Go ahead and call artillery fire there to pave the way. Again, let's hit this position. I'm going to try to push in down here first, so I don't want... Once we clear this area here, I don't want the Japanese to be able to fire towards the east. So just watch that mini-map and see how many enemies that clears out. Well, mortars are making it here, even under fire. Imagine how much more chaos is not being presented here in this game at the moment. That's just impossible to show the amount of stretchers that are being brought around, the screaming, and just the deafening sounds of like fire just raging and crackling, secondary explosions from vehicles, and of course, not to mention the smell. Alright, mortars are almost in position. I think we're going to abandon these smaller guns for now. We'll probably bring these up a little bit later. Mortars are great, good for trenches. Those other artillery guns are rather good too, but only for direct fire, which the Japanese are mostly down in the trenches or behind the rocks. We don't have too many vehicles at our disposal. Some of which are just completely disabled and we're not able to move. More Marines coming in. Alright, that's enough of the artillery for now. Let's get some troops. Some Marines. Let's get them. Wow, just look at the carnage. Alright, let's see if those mortars made it. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can get these guns moving. No, even they are damaged. Even if we take the time to get a mortar into position, it's likely to just be hit by some stray shell or mortar. This really sucks. I really want to provide more support to our troops. But obviously, the longer this battle rages, the better advantage the Japanese have as well. More time to dig in, set up traps, move their troops. We got to pin them down and eliminate them. Yep. Vehicle there providing as much fire as it can. Oh, man. Those are going to get wiped out in seconds. Might give me another Marine Rifleman squad here. We have a demolition squad as well. We have a corpsman. Another thing that is I'm hoping for mods for is for corpsmen or medics or whomever to automatically go to the wounded and take care of them. And in this game, you have to babysit each and every medic to then give individual orders to start triage. And so it can be a little annoying to try to get, you know, obviously you're going to take tons of losses. You're going to have lots of wounded. And so it's very difficult to mitigate both the battle and the medic at the same time. Imagine in Hell Let Loose being a whole squad yourself. Anti-tank, machine gunner, and a medic all at once. It's impossible, an impossible task. Alright, well, the good news is I'm seeing the enemy thin out a little bit on the right side. There's still a great amount of defense here, but I am seeing those numbers going down. And the Marines are getting closer to some of these positions to where now we can actually get into the fight. We can bring it straight to the Japanese now. So let's bring up a demolition squad, aka flamethrowers. More Marines pouring ashore. And let's see if we can get some grenades into these trenches. We got the Japanese all over. MG position right there. You can get the Marines to fire. Is that a 20mm? Oh my god, it is. No, 13, but it's almost like an anti-aircraft gun. Dual barrel. Do we have any smokes? Let's go ahead and try that. Okay, we got smokes going out. In the background, you can almost hear some of the radios from the Marines, too. Vehicle communication, naval communication. Yeah, we're going to try to get some more smokes down. We really need to push up onto that 13mm. And there is a gun over to the right side, but it does seem to just be AT. Which can fire HE, but... Alright, we got a smoke screen. Push it, Marines. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can get a... Oh, we have a soldier there behind that little guardhouse. Oh, he's dead. We got him. Nice. Alright. Wow. The Marines are getting hit inside the trenches, outside the trenches. Now we just need some armor. Now, where's that demolition? We actually have troops around us. Oh, see, right there. I believe this is a medic. Yeah, right there, just laying on top of the troops. Please do your job, sir. All right. I think we're going to need more naval artillery. Marines are great, but they can't do the impossible. We'll give it one more hit here to see if we can at least get a chance. Oh, thank God. It looks like a direct hit on that anti-aircraft piece. Beautiful. I can see guns flying around on the mini-map, too. Alright, we cut right through there, where the Marines were pushing. Whoa, lots of, oh boy. Oh my god, the insanity. Look at all those troops on the beach. That's got to be at least 100 troops right there. 100 Marines just camping out. Oh, wow, and look at that, yep. They're getting entangled with other AI. But hey, that's war, right? You know, vehicle gets hit while it's coming in. You're going to have all those wounded on the beach if they happen to get ashore. That's where they're going to go. Try to find a corpsman. Or hope a corpsman finds you. Alright, there we go. Troops are bleeding out here a little bit. Man, I wish the AI would take care of those, the medics would take care of all those wounded. We could easily save 100 plus, but let's worry about trying to conserve the lives of the living at the moment. Trying to create a staging area here where it was safe before, no longer safe. And if we move into these trenches, as you've seen, even when we were here, moving our troops into the trenches, yep, just like that. Yep, trenches not as safe as you'd think they would be. Behind a rock, you get hit by a mortar. Out in the open, you get hit by a sniper. In a trench, you get hit by an AT gun. Alright, boys, heal up and we'll keep pushing right. Alright, now, in order to also make some progress on the front line up here, let's try to get our troops into these trenches as well. Seems like a mad dash across open ground is a horrible idea, but it's better than dying on the beach. Yep. Wow, we got a vehicle up and running. Oh, I guess not. Wow. Insane amounts of wounded. I can actually tell our troops now to move freely and fire at will. We can try to manage two fronts at the same time. Interestingly enough, the AI is capable of, you know, making a very good push and attacking the enemy. Or at least dealing with stragglers. Once we're down to these numbers, it's a little more... their enemy defense is pretty formidable, but now that we've got most of the trenches clear, the enemy, our friendly forces can push into where the enemy may be and at least take some level of cover. Alright, how else can we help out the Marines pushing here? We gotta find mortars or emplacements that are still active. I see something over here. The map will expand even further. Marines are dealing with a lot of emplacements here, including that gun that is just right on the edge of a cave. Now we're gonna have to hit that. That's gotta go. Nice. Oh, nice. One of the guns eliminated. Oh, beautiful. Wow, look at how close those guns hit. And yet this crew is still active and still firing. Yeah, that naval fire is incredibly effective and also... it needs to be so precise. Alright, let's keep giving them breathing room over here. Oh, man. Oh, man, there's so many wounded. I can't believe it. I don't think I've ever seen this many wounded on the screen at any given time. And it's a lost cause to try to get a medic to even save half as many. Oh, wow. 2 accurate hits there. That's crazy. I was banking on the trenches giving us much more cover than they actually are. We're going to have to continuously rely on these naval guns. We've got almost unlimited amounts of that. It is based on our points, though, that we're getting. That's a mortar crew there. AT crew. 70 millimeter. Let's watch the artillery fire come in on them. Ooh, good hit. Nice. Eliminated that gun. Alright, the Marines are pushing up little by little, bit by bit. Getting closer to those wrecks. He's almost have a equal bet of survival out in the open as we do in the trench. Okay, we need some more Marines. We are making progress here on one of our objectives to eliminate snipers. Let's do that. We may be allocated more points for that. I can't believe that. Whole squad is wiped. Crazy. Hey, that's realism, damn it. Yeah, in terms of just loss of life in a small space, this is probably one of the most realistically scaled maps I've ever seen, and the simulation and the realism that's presented with Call to Arms is probably the most accurate and realistic of the, you know, quote-unquote Men of War series. The only way this could even be more realistic is with a Rob's Realism mod piled onto that, and I think that's kind of baked in already from this game. We're going to have to just make a grenade push here. I mean, it sounds suicidal, but at this point it's better than dying in a pit. For the 19th time. Let's go ahead and lob grenades at what seems to be bunkers, trench lines, mortar pits, MG bunkers. Here come the Marines. Well, damn, a charge across the field. Actually effective. Troops making it up to the next trench line. Clearing out the Japanese pillboxes. Mortar there that was taken out. Damn right. All right. And Marines are all the way up to the airfield. There we go. Let's get aggressive. No more dying in the damn trenches. Cover? What a dumb idea. We got to be out in the open, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Another wave of grenades, please. Honestly, I can't even tell where the Japanese are. Like, sometimes I can see them, sometimes I'm just guessing at where I would put troops. I mean, their uniform blends in really well with this area. Objective completed. Kill the Japanese snipers. We did it, damn it. And a ton of points given to us. Kill the snipers hiding around the plane wrecks. All done. Beautiful. And now we got a ton of MP, which means we can call in even more artillery strikes on that position on the right. Airfield 1 was always the big objective. Alright, let's keep trucking. Doing a great job so far. Knowing what I know now, you know, it's quite clear that we need to just continuously push aggressively into those positions. And just have the Marines rush across open fields. Like, for example, the Motoyama airfield, we just run across it and toss grenades. Like a Call of Duty match, brother. Alright, so clearly a big position here. Fuel tanks dug into the ground. Enemy supply dump here. Alright, I think the next objective for the Marines will probably be to cut... You know, actually, if we have the Marines push this way and this way, we can cut the whole left flank off. And the biggest roadblock to that will be right here. So let's go ahead and call in some funsies. Trying to give a little bit of a spread and time delay to our attacks. Order position there. Woo! Hell yeah, brother! Rip and dip, let's go! Wow, look at that. fuel igniting too. Jeez. Hey, the Marines have the edge of the airfield still under their control. And the right flank has Shermans. Hell yeah. Well, particularly Crocs, which means we got ourselves some flamethrower support. Get that tin cannon gear. Let's go. Oh, lots and lots of tanks. Hell yeah. Marines have done a very hard job. Okay. Sure thing, sir. Alright, these tanks are definitely going to be useful here. Yeah, we're getting hit, though. Yep. I'm bringing some tanks down here if we can. I need naval guns again. Now we got to save the damn tanks. Damn cave guns have got to go. There's one here. Gun there, and then that one in the cave. Well, actually, that one's gone, but I still see something on the map. Tanks need to be preserved as much as possible, though. And we need to get more Marines on this right side. Alright, well, what we learned before is just running out in the open, best chance for survival, so. Battle's changing our tactics on the fly. And give these Marines position, or rather permission, to move on their own. Yeah, I'm still taking fire from that left side, but if we can clear out the middle, we can cut this map in half. Interesting to not see the Shermans shooting their coaxials or main gun or anything. Not all of these are Crocs. Uh-oh. Got one stuck here. There we go, sir. Beautiful. Let's go. Yeah, this is insane. I think the only thing I've ever seen that comes close to this, and this is much larger than that, is Sir Henkel making a Iwo Jima mod for Men of War Assault Squad back in the day that also took into consideration the Rob's Realism mod, which added a lot more gritty combat where it was very difficult to capture a position. Machine guns are effective. That's what that game essentially makes, is very effective machine guns. And artillery and more. Almost too effective. Wow, look at the losses. Alright, there was a Japanese machine gunner in that bunker. I think we're going to have to just get across this airfield now. More troops stuck on the beach. Just send our troops out. We got to get out of these trenches. They're too dangerous. It's almost as if they're booby trapped rather than actually being decent cover. We're going to need to hit these one more time, too, to make sure they're clear for the tanks. Yeah, look at that position right there. I see 3 MG AT positions right there, as well as a whole bunker complex on the left. Wow. Woohoo! Rip and dip, brother. Oh, tanks are actually doing some work now. Wow, look at that. Well, the Marines did successfully enter the airfield. Japanese soldiers is walking out in the airfield too. Viable tactic. To just walk out there. Alright, we're going to need the tank support now. Seems to me that the troops are just spawning here. Oh, we're getting more amphibious vehicles to land. Big amphibious vehicles. Very nice. Some of the larger ships now approaching. We need to try to protect those tanks. Problem here is when I'm calling in reinforcements, they spawn here on the beach and then I have to go get them and do some more babysitting. So rather than the Marines rallying where I'm telling them to, we kind of get them just on the beach and have to bring them over. Not so bad though, because at least they're not running across the fields at the start, but now we've got a lot more territory for us. Let's see if we can capture up here. Okay. I think the whole key to this defense is right up here. And once we break that down, it's going to be just shattering the resistance. There's not much remaining on the right flank. In terms of how much was there before, there's certainly not much left. There's still a lot of troops there, but percentage-wise, it's much lower. Wow, this is... Yeah, this is seriously one of the biggest battles I think I've seen in a very long time from this game. Even the D-Day missions usually are not so complex or bloody, where the troops are able to get off the beach relatively quickly, enter the trenches and the large bunker complexes, and then move inland with the battle mostly being off the beach or just on the other side of it in the hills. Marines are still having trouble with random large artillery strikes, unfortunately. And yeah, obviously lots of wounded here. There's not a lot of cover, and the areas that do have cover are a death trap. You think you're moving your troops somewhere safe, and you're not. Alright, let's go ahead and put a 105 shell into that building just to make sure. Nice. Got our flamethrowers. Bring those a little closer. There we go. Nice. Now, wow, they're actually able to shoot over the airfield and almost damn near reach a mortar position. Now, with all these trenches here, we're really going to have to, you know, drive over all this stuff manually. The AI just can't deal with it. Japanese are fleeing some of their positions now. Good. Let's light it up. Hell yeah. Right over the top. Uh-oh. Lots of smoke. The trees that remain are just really just not having a good time. Alright, at this point we have enough Marines on the field that I think if we put them all onto free movement, the AI should effectively enough almost act as if individual squads are being given orders to just kind of push in directions for cleanup. Like, for example, over on this right flank. The Marines are all over the center of the map. And in the water, apparently. This is insane. I can't believe the amount of troops we're fighting against, and also that we continuously are able to call in. Typically, mod makers steer away from this because well, especially with the old Men of War Assault Squad being unstable, you're almost putting your missions at risk without extensive testing, with almost the placement of every soldier having to be considered and the absolute precise number of troops that you're giving the player to have on the screen. But in this case, I mean, it's just free range, baby. Like, just do whatever you want. I've got to say, though, with all the losses that we've taken and the chaos of the battle and all the things that have gone wrong, it really does it's an accurate simulation. It does a great job of simulating the, you know, the horrors of war, miscommunication, lack of communication, being cut off, isolated, low supply. But at least in this case, high morale. The Marines have done an incredible job of pushing up, and those tanks have really cleared out that right side. And we've almost got the airfield for ourselves. U.S. tanks pushing across. Looks like mortar fire still coming from the hills. There we go. I want more Marines here to push in, especially on that right flank. Wow, they just pour around that vehicle. Now, the only other thing about this mission, too, is that I guess on a larger scale, mortars and whatnot become a little less effective because you've got to... The last thing you want to do is have your troops staying still while they're being shelled, and so being able to only pay attention to one thing at a time, where you're commanding a squad, and trying not to have them get sniped from an artillery piece like we just did. We aren't able to do triage. We aren't able to do, you know, mortar fight, like set up a mortar, make sure a position is safe, have troops near the mortar to defend it. You just want to keep pushing. And tanks and infantry help to do that a lot. Alright, Japanese mortar, or rather a machine gun. Let's go ahead and engage those. Nice. Oh boy. Alright, Marines can push up into the hills there. Gonna be a hell of a fight. Yeah, the Americans greatly outnumbered the Japanese, but the Japanese were almost able to 1-to-1 or more with all those crazy traps and spider holes and... And this is just capturing the airfield. I think the attack on Mount Suribachi then comes at night, where historical photographs were taken during the day. I'm seeing some Japanese here. Oh, they're inside that bunker. Oh, no. Well, best case scenario, we get a tank over here. But realistically, the Marines are just going to have to throw some grenades. So we got to keep our armor facing this way. Such a mix of emotions here. I'm doing the things that I don't want to do in terms of, like, you know, telling our troops to be out in the open and run over open fields. Obviously, we want them to be in trenches. We want them, you know, throwing grenades into trenches and clearing them beforehand, but the trenches are already clear, so when we enter the trench, the Japanese have it zeroed in. Impressive. At the odds against them. Send the troops over here. So at this point, we're giving the AI the control to push into areas on their own. Almost like auto-explore in Civ 6 or something like that with the scouts. We're telling our troops they can push in. Well, I'm fairly certain that this bunker is clear. The Marines did a good job with grenades, but let's just make sure.
Move in.
Oh, sorry, Bria. Pretty sure they got that one. Alright, last thing for the Americans to do is capture that northern side, which seems to have Japanese where? Underneath? Oh, they're all in here. Just gonna throw grenades pretty much everywhere. Alright, the Marines pretty much have the fuel dump now, and we got to get rid of that damn mortar. There we go. That was a target we need to get. Alright, Marines are all over the hills, clearing those out. We'll keep pumping reinforcements into there, but that seems to just be a matter of time now. And the defense on the left is pretty formidable, but now we can bring all our guns to bear on that side. Literally all the tanks and all the artillery can be tasked with targeting that. And if we capture these objectives here of the hills on the right side, the fuel dump, we'll get a lot of extra points to try to save some more lives with the large artillery burst. Marines are doing a great job. Okay, that hopefully will clear out that hill. And I'm not sure what we need to do to clear this out. I'm just going to ask the Marines to walk around. Right on the edge of the map here. Oh, it's hand-to-hand combat now. I think I saw melee taking place. Oh, an enemy sniper. Oh, nice. They pushed up on him and meleeed. Nice. Okay, the Marines have the high ground at the fuel dump. There's still some troops here, but I don't know. We're going to have to find them. They're somewhere around. Marines are, look at that, like ants, just crawling all over that right side. Just hunting down the Japanese remaining bunker positions and whatnot. Alright, a few more points. And we'll bring up the tanks. So the tanks we're going to try to keep back a little bit. We're going to wait until we get a little bit more support from the battleships. Defense on the left flank is looking really solid. At least in terms of numbers. Not much there except for debris, but I do hear mortars. We're going to have to blanket that area. I think we'll need at least 400 points to do so. Alright, get in there, Marines. I think another thing going on during this whole campaign was a live broadcast from Iwo Jima. From war correspondents reporting live somehow via radio. Obviously, you wouldn't want to do that, you know, with a live broadcast, but perhaps being broadcast to somewhere to be able to capture it, you know. And carrying recording devices on them. But being very vague. Don't want to give the enemy real-time data. Alright, yep, there's certainly some Japanese stragglers around somewhere. Obviously in the hills in the northeast and in the center of the map, but the Marines have got it, damn it. What is going on with the Tennessee? Oh, we need more points for the Tennessee. I thought these were each 100. The Arkansas must be firing smaller guns. The Tennessee has big O 600s. 600 points. Find those damn mortars. So incredible. Like, this map is so detailed that it's, like, impossible to look at it. It makes me wonder how the hell they did it back in the day with photo reconnaissance. Okay, I can hear at least 2 mortars firing off. There's one back here, but we got to go for the brunt of the attack here. Yep. There's another position there. We're going to hit that and send in the tanks and call it a day. Well, that's good for the tanks. They're out in the open. So is the enemy, so we'll have the advantage here. Supply dump was just captured, which was right up here. Now we can fire more guns on the Japanese. Mortar position there. Let's take that out. Who the hell is this? Tank Destroyer Battalion. We got somebody who was knocked out of one of their tanks coming back to recrew it. Oh, that's dedication. Alright, so at this point, we've got nearly 1,000 points. We can call in about 5 or more major squads of Marines. And we can push into the Japanese defenses there. Alright, so clean up over here. Friendly troops pushing every which way in order to clean that up. But the Japanese are going to dig in. That's going to be it for now. For more Call to Arms Gates of Hell Ostfront, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll come back for more of this mission, possibly securing Mount Suribachi and much more. 100,000 Marines plus entering the battle, wreaking hell against the and havoc against the Japanese. We'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching.